All right, so the first thing we need to do is we're looking for cosine of u plus v. So we need to remember our formula. All right, so we're going to plug into that formula up there at the top. So I need to know cosine of u and sine of u, cosine and sine of v, right? So you might want to write a little smaller on this one because it's going to take a little room. Let's talk about angle u. What did it tell me about angle u?
It's greater than 0, but less than
Okay.
2.
It's between 0 and pi over 2, which means it's in what quadrant? Quadrant 1. And what do we know about x in quadrant 1?
Positive.
What about y?
Positive.
And r?
Positive.
Okay. What else did they tell me about that has to deal with the angle u? I know sine of u, don't I? What is sine of u? It says sine of u equals 7 over 25. All right, what do we know about sine in terms of x, y, and r? It's y over r. Now this time we have to include the r because we don't know if this is on our unit circle, do we? We don't know what the actual angle u is. So I know sine is y over r, which means y is what number? And r is? Okay, now we also know we need to know cosine of u, but did they give me that? No, so I need to go find cosine of u. How? Okay, you could say cosine is x over r. And then we'd have to find x, wouldn't we? Yep. You could use Pythagorean identities if you wanted to. Sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. And work your way through it. I seem to like the x, y, and r. So how am I going to find x? X squared plus y squared equals r squared.
Ding, ding.
We're looking for x. What is y?
Y in this case would be like 49.
And what is r?
25 over 2.
All right, so I've got x squared plus 7 squared equals 25 squared. So do the squares. So x squared plus 49 equals 625. Subtract the 49. So x squared is 576. Take the square root. So x is plus or minus, good, 24. And we already said x is positive, so we're looking for a positive 24, right? Now you told me cosine is x over r. So what is x?
24.
Over what is r?
25.
All right, so I know sine and cosine of u. So I'm going to come in here and circle those. So I know sine of u, and here's my cosine of u. I'm going to need them in a minute to plug into that formula. All right, so let's do the same thing for angle v. What do I know about angle v? Well, I know v is between pi over 2 and pi, correct? So that tells me it's in which quadrant? Two. Pi over 2 is at the top. Pi is on the left. That's quadrant 2 in between them. So what do we know about x?
X is going to be...
X is negative.
X is
In quadrant 2, x is negative. Y is...
Positive.
Positive.
And r is
Also positive.
always positive.
Always positive.
Okay, we also know that cosine of v equals negative 4/5. What is cosine in terms of x, y, and r?
X over R.
So we can already tell because we already said x is going to be negative that the 4 is going to get the negative, right? And so r is a positive 5. And we know that we're going to need sine of v. which you told me earlier is y over r. So I need to go find y, same way I found x in the previous step. So x squared plus y squared equals r squared. X is -4. We're looking for y, and r was 5. So 16 plus y squared equals 25. Subtract the 16. Y squared is 9. Takes the square root, so plus or minus 3. And you already told me it was positive 3. So sine is y over r. So it means it's going to be 3 over 5. And so there's my cosine of v and my sine of v that I'm going to need to be able to plug in.
Wait, what do we do?
So now, for this equation here, cosine of u plus v that we're looking for, we know it's cosine of u, which is what?
Cosine of u is 24 over 5, or 25, like that.
Good, 24 over 25,
Yeah.
times cosine of v, which is minus sine of u, which is
7 over 25.
times sine of v, which is
And then with common denominators, can't we just change the 5 to a 45? And multiply?
y. We're multiplying first. So just multiply these two. So remember, multiply straight across. So what's that? Negative 96 over 125
We can do that.
minus, we're multiplying here, so again, straight across. So 21 over 125.
Yep.
Add them together, or combine them together. What's negative 96 minus 21?
Negative 117.
Yep.
Negative 117 over their common denominator.